Hamilton has always been synonymous with making really good timepieces for the money. And today I have one example, and we're going to find out why. Stick around. Hello, watch people. Thank you for watching the internet. My name is Jay, and the watch we're talking about today is the Hamilton Khaki Worldtimer Chronograph. It was a watch that was developed in 2018 in collaboration with Nicholas Ivanov, and he was a aerobatic pilot. And his thought process was that a lot of watches have the chronograph function, and a lot of watches have a world timer function, but not all watches have a chronograph and a world timer function. And he really sought out to flush that out with a dedicated UTC time mode that he could quickly flip between UTC time and his travel time, plus time things as he was going. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get it on the table, and we'll figure out why this Hamilton is one of my favorites. I'm really excited. Stick with me. All right, so here it is, the Hamilton Khaki Worldtimer Chronograph. I'll show you the packaging. I got this new old stock. Here's the outer sleeve. But I got this new old stock from Europe, and it's, sometimes it's hard to find new old stock stuff that is when it's older, but when you do, it can be really cool. These are the packets. I got the full manual and the warranty card in there. No one cares about that. But it comes in, obviously, the Hamilton wooden box we're all familiar with. And there it is. She's a really girthy girl. So we'll go over some specs here. She is a full 45 millimeter wide. Okay, not too bad. I mean, if you're into big watches, but the lug to lug is 52. So that's getting pretty big. We have a 13 millimeter thickness, and this thing weighs an astonishing 200 plus grams. 200 plus because they sometimes it came on a bracelet. I would recommend the strap for this one because the bracelet will make it even heavier. But yeah, she's and you feel it on your wrist. But all that heft really feels premium and solid. It really does. When you have this on your wrist, and you're going through the buttons, and I'll move it down deeper, and we'll go through the functions. But the button pressing, phenomenal. Up here too, the crown, it's a screw down crown, really, really nice and smooth. No chamfering on the sides. This watch is kind of going for edgy, so there's a lot of edges, especially like in the buckle here. It's very sharp angles. Very good. The strap is another really premium thing on this watch. It feels really, really good. Here's the case back. This uses the H41E movement from Hamilton. And like I said, it's a chronograph, world timer, UTC function. So you'll have your bezel here. The bezel is really, really clicky, but it's not loud clicky. It's very definite when you go into each one of the spaces. It's a 60 click bezel. And now I gotta spin it all the way around because, watch guys, we gotta have them all at 0. And there we go. It's a little hard to get your fingers on it, but it's got these nice cutouts on the side. It's not too bad. So let's dive even deeper. We're gonna get it zoomed up really, really close so you can see. And we'll kind of go through the functions, how to set this thing. One thing I will tell you before we go into the setting, the hands and the internal time are separate. Okay, so just remember that when we go set the UTC time, because the world timer function does not go off the hands. The world timer function is going off the time that's set for UTC. So it's very important you get the UTC time set correctly for your world timer to display the correct time. So just remember that the two hands that are the hour and the minute hand are in no way related to the internal timekeeping of the watch. All right, let's dive deeper. All right, so let me explain what we got going on here. So you have your hour and minute hand here. You have your small running seconds down here with the date, and you'll have right here chrono and time. This is a multifunction subdial. Right now, it's in world timer mode. And you can see really, it's kind of hard to, but there are actually two hands right here. One is pointing to the city that the watch is currently telling you that it's in. So this little hand here is actually telling you the time, right? Now it's not completely right because I moved to the minute hand out of the way, but it's almost 9 o'clock. It was like 50 or something. But I just wanted you to see the subdial. The subdial right here is telling you AM or PM for the GMT time. Okay, so we're all familiar. So this is your mode button over here. This is your chronograph button here. Start, stop, reset. Screw down crown, 2 positions. These buttons, while they're in world timer mode, let you just on the fly change from your different cities. So right now we're in Denver. Okay, then we're in Los Angeles. And you can go forward like this. Denver, Chicago, New York. And you'll see that this hand moves along with it. So this hand is always going to read what city you're in, and this hand's always going to tell you the time in a, but it's not going to tell you in a 24-hour scale. Okay, that's what this little subdial is for. This is telling you in a 12-hour increment or a 12-hour scale what the time is. So like right now it'd almost be 11 o'clock in New York. Okay, so we'll get it back to Denver. And you can do this at any point when you're wearing the watch. There's no extra mode you have to go into. You just hit the button and you're good, okay? So now we're going to get into chrono mode. So we push and hold the mode button. You can see right now it just went into chronograph mode up here. And both hands now are at the 12 o'clock. And the subdial right here is reading 0, okay? So we're going to start this off so you can kind of see the magic of this watch. This is one of the really cool things about this watch. Okay, so started off the chronograph. She's ticking down. This subdial over here is going to register minutes, okay? So you have 30, 60, 90, 120 minutes, okay? This hand is going to do something really magical to watch guys, it's magical, when it gets down to the 30. This hand is going to tick over right in the middle between the 12 and the 1. This is a minute counter. So right now it's tracking that you're half a minute in and you're using the seconds hand to read the exact seconds. When this gets up to the 12, we're going to see this tick over to 1. So this is going to count now 12 minutes, if that makes sense. Okay, let's watch it. Coming up to the 12, boom, 1. So now you're at 1 minute and 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. And it just keeps going around like that all the way till it gets to 12, and it just keeps doing it all the way around. This subdial here is what's counting the actual minutes that you're reading. So, from 0 to 30 minutes here. And then if it's 30 and it's over here, like this orange hand is over here, you're going to read 33 and whatever the seconds is, 33 minutes, 37 minutes, whatever it is. little wonky because it's not a standard chronograph. But it's so cool that if you're timing things that are 12 minutes or below, you actually have a minute right there that you can read. It's really, really legible. And then obviously we're just going to start or stop and reset. And you can also split, start, and then you can split and wait for it, split again, and it'll catch up. So just a standard one-time split. Stop, reset. Okay, now if we want to get it back into Worldtimer mode, just press and hold the mode button, and we're back in Worldtimer mode. Now, the other thing the mode button does is if you just press it once, like this, boop, it's going to flip over right here and read some weird time. What's that time? That is UTC time. So it's made for if you just want to check what the UTC time is real quick. You just press the mode button once, and it's almost 3 o'clock. It's using that white hand, again, in a 12-hour scale to read what the UTC time is. And notice the subdial right here. When you do it, it's telling you it's still in the daytime. So it's 3 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock p.m. in the in UTC time. So along with being a world timer with the GMT functions, this also does something that's cool and something that's not so cool. If you pull it out to the first position, right? So I've already unscrewed the crown, by the way. I did that off camera. So it was just in the normal neutral position. Pull it out to the first click. All these hands that are motorized, we'll call them motorized hands because the hour and minute hand are not motorized. The two hands here and the subdial here all go to their 0 positions. The seconds hand doesn't do anything. It just does counting seconds. But in this mode, what you can do is just change the hour of your watch while the watch is still keeping time. Okay? So when you're transferring and you want your local time to be a easy, you just want to go up an hour or two, you can do that. The bad thing about this, what I was telling you, is there's no quick set date. So if you want to change the date, and when I got this watch, it was way off. I had to you have to turn this past 12 twice every single day until you get to your correct date. Once you're on your correct date, then you're only correcting for the 30 to 31 months or the leap years that are 29. You're doing that, but it's not terrible. You just have to keep turning it around to let the date change over. There's no quick set. Another thing you can do in this mode is you can, I believe it's here. So when you press the mode button, all these hands, you can set their zeroed positions. I'm going to do a whole video on zeroed positions with hands because you'd think in modern technology that you would think that the hands would know what they're pointing at. Just, they don't. You have to tell the hands of a watch when they're motorized what they're pointing at. So this first mode is setting the GMT hand, okay? You want the GMT hand set to 0. The next mode, you're going to be setting I call it the indicator hand. I'm not really sure what it's called, but it indicates stuff, so we're going to call it that. You can set this, if it's off or you do a battery change and it's not pointing to something that is correct, this is how you check that the hands are zeroed. The next mode, you're going to zero this out. If this counter is off, that's how you can zero the hands out. Okay? And when you're done changing the hour or doing whatever, just press it in and it all goes back to normal. Now, the more confusing part, and these manuals are actually downloadable for this watch too. I have one on my phone. It's probably good to have it when you want to set up the UTC time because even I have to look and kind of remember how to do it. So what you do is you pull this out to the second position. Okay, so now we're in normal hand mode where you can do anything you want with the hands. Okay, but what you can do is you can press and hold. Let me see if I can do it. You press and hold these two buttons here, like this. Okay, now you're in the time and UTC setting mode for this watch. And in the manual, maybe I'll flash up a graphic of it. You're going to go through each individual digit to set it. So right now, this hand is indicating 2, as in 25, as in the year we're in. So if it was 15, if it was 2015, you would do this. Or if it's 2, you would do this. Now we're setting the 25, the 24. We're in 2025, so it's indicating 5. Now we're setting the month, okay, where it's October. So it's going to be 10. Now we're setting the day. It's the 27th. You can see it's pointing to the 27. Now we're setting the hour. So it is 2. And it's 50, what is it, 5, 6, 7. And that's it. So that's how to set up the UTC time. When you get the UTC time set, you just go like that. Let's bring it back up top and we'll close it out. I also just wanted to clarify something. When you're setting the UTC time in that mode we're showing where you're going setting individual digit, you're using this button and this button to go up and down. And when this is reading, and then you push it back in and then it's set. But when the hand, this little hand right here, is reading the time, it's not reading the time from the two main hands. It's reading the time that you just set in the UTC time. So the watch knows, okay, UTC time is this. Denver is -7. So we're going to go count backward, okay, and that's going to be the GMT time. So I hope that makes sense. I know it's a little confusing. That's why it's good to have the manual. But if you get this watch and you don't have it, or you get it old stock, there's no manual, you can download it online. All right, let's bring it back up top. So I know that sounded maybe confusing on the setting on this watch, but with a little work and a little memorization on how to get the settings right on this, it's phenomenal. I mean, I really can't convey to you through the camera what this feels like. It's very premium. It's very solid. It's very heavy, and it's very large. So if that's your thing, this watch is for you. You can find these fairly regularly on your favorite watch sites. They are usually not terribly priced. This watch retailed for $1,500 US back in 2018. So it's got that level of finish and feel and fit that is kind of above the norm for your standard entry level affordable watch. Nothing really Hamilton does is entry level. They always have focused on premium for the money. And they've had a lot of milestones in their long life as a watchmaker, all the way back to, and one of the watches that are on my list is the Ventura. Nobody likes that watch, I don't think, except me. But it was a really, really horologically important watch because it was kind of like the first battery-powered mechanical movement. Elvis wore it. So, I mean, they've had all kinds of milestones, but it's easy to see why they've lasted this long. with putting out watches like this. So if you see it, go ahead and hit the buy now. You won't be disappointed.